So, Made in Abyss, Akihito Tsukushi's magnum opus. Like the Abyss itself, the manga is masterful in its allure. Riko, our main character, lives on an island where treasure seekers discovered an incredible depth, an abyss with deadly creatures, impossible terrain, and hazardous fauna. It both attracts and endangers many people, with Riko being one such person. Having received a letter from her thought-lost mother, Riko sets out to find her with the help of her friend Reg. There are 7 known layers to this abyss, with each holding increasingly worse repercussions for those who try to reascend. From headaches, sickness, to hemorrhaging, the layers of the abyss form our different arcs of the story. And what a story it is. Made in Abyss is loved widely by many, though there are some dodgy elements. But that doesn't stop it from being one of the most compelling and mysterious manga and anime out there. The anime adaptation and its music, its directing and animation is a real spectacle to behold. There really aren't many series like this. Tsukushi, the author of the series, was inspired a fair bit by Dark Souls, something that becomes ever more apparent when you get further into the series. The lore and the strong ancient feel to the Abyss is something straight out of a Miyazaki From Software game. There's an air of mystery to the locations, to the people who have seemingly been there forever, to the best part of an addictive story. What comes next? I won't get into spoiler territory, don't worry, but the series is great in such a unique way. The only downside, apart from those occasionally dodgy moments, you guessed it, the release schedule. Made in Abyss is very sparsely released, and that is to say, there is no release schedule at all. Chapters take anywhere from 4 to 10 weeks to release, but even this isn't entirely accurate because sometimes the manga takes bigger breaks in publication. Since the series started in 2012, there has been 8 volumes, roughly 1 volume a year. Because of this, the anime has seen a glacial release as well, with the original anime series running in 2017, with a promised sequel announced right at the end of it. When did this sequel come out, you ask? 3 years later. Hell, because of COVID-19, it hasn't technically finished coming out yet. With a pandemic in full swing, and the movie having only enjoyed a very, very limited run, Made in Abyss Dawn of the Deep Soul is the next chapter of the anime, and the pain is made worse only because of how continuous the narrative is. It's literally one long running story which just rides all the way from beginning to end. With the quality of his work, and with the relentless demand for quantity that plagues the manga industry, it's a very fortunate thing that we have something like Made in Abyss at all, which, in turn, makes it harder to wait patiently, as the series releases as slowly as ever, whilst the anime picks it up every 3 to 4 years for a single movie that still isn't out. In a story where the mystery is so compelling and builds so vastly, the further that we get into the story, the better that it becomes, and the more intense the impatience becomes. With Berserk, it's whether or not it'll ever reach an ending. With Vagabond, it's if it'll ever come back. With World Trigger, it's if Ashihara can keep his pace without hurting himself. With Hunter x Hunter, it's if Togashi can find some way to fully recover. And with D. Grey Man, it's if the output can find some level of consistency. With Made in Abyss, it's simply too damn good for its own damn good. The withdrawal symptoms are high. I'll admit I made this video purely to channel those feelings. To anyone who booked tickets to see the new film, only to not be able to watch it, my heart goes out to you. If waiting for the manga wasn't bad enough, then that's just a kick in the gut. The film should have a damn what happened to of its own. It can more safely be predicted to return to a theatrical release in Japan, but all of the licensing and distribution for places like America, the UK, and Europe, God, it's weird how we aren't part of Europe anymore. It might genuinely not come out for foreign theatres at all with the virus threatening the theatre-going experience the way that it does. With the transmission of particles in the air being an increasingly possible reality, the theatre business itself is in danger. Nothing has been announced for the film because obviously there'd be a pretty big monetary loss if Japan or anywhere didn't have a full screening schedule. So the most apparent mentality is to wait it out. But with things looking worse for the future of theatre going, it could be an even greater loss to wait and then put it back in cinemas if the cinemas really are conduits of an increased infection rate. It's less worry and honestly more of an unprecedented thing to happen for a movie. With films, there's 2 phases, production and distribution. You've all no doubt heard of production hell or development hell, where a project never really takes off in the way that it should or struggles to really find its footing. Well, this is one of the first instances of distribution hell, where the team literally can't do anything about it without losing one way or another. The team loses out, the fans lose out, everyone loses out, and there's no apparent solution to any of it. So yeah, that's what happened to Made in Abyss. Good lord. Thank you to my wonderful patrons for their continued support. Like, subscribe, comment about the torment of it all down below. But more importantly, stay safe everyone, and have a wonderful night.